Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to Frank's Collecting Castle. And today I figured I'm going to talk about Frank Castle, Mr. Punisher, because if you're watching the Daredevil Born Again TV show, Punisher has showed up again. So I figured, why not talk about some of the essential Punisher comics that if you haven't read anything Punisher, if you're new to comics, if you're new to Punisher, these are books and comics about the Punisher that I would recommend. It's not necessary, you can jump in wherever you want, but these are just my recommendations for if you're new and you want to get to know the Punisher character, Mr. Frank Castle himself. And let's start with this. This is a big omnibus called Punisher Back to the War, which basically has his first appearances. So, the very first appearance was Amazing Spider-Man 129. It's this classic cover. So this is the very first appearance of Frank Castle. So at the time, he was just a villain. He was not a good guy. And then it took quite a while for him to get his own series. Let's see if we have the table of contents so I can actually find. Let's go through here. So he has first. So yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 129 came out 1974. And then his first ongoing series, or first miniseries, Circle of Blood, came out in 1986. Oh, let's not go into it here because I have the trade of that. So this is the very first miniseries of the Punisher, Circle of Blood, 1986. Grant Sek, Lewisburg. So it's Mike Sek doing the artwork and Stephen Grant doing the writing. There you see the classic. It's for that one as well. This is the very first miniseries. And especially Punisher during the 90s had an explosion. And at the time, there were like 3 different Punisher series running at the same time. And there's not all too much collected with the Punisher these days. Well, there are, but I think I have pretty much most that have been collected, at least most of the stuff that is collected with the Punisher. I don't have the newest ones because I don't like the new. They've changed. If you don't know, they've changed the classic logo. For some reason, they have reimagined it. They've changed that one. So this is a good start. Circle of Blood, his first miniseries. Then I want to jump into an absolute classic. That is Welcome Back, Frank. Steve Dillon, Jimmy Palmiotti, and of course Garth Ennis. This is a great book. If you just want some really good Punisher. This is some really good stuff. This is violent and brutal Punishers you're going to get with this sort of cartoonish artwork, but it fits. Really fits. And this is Punisher is really a no-sense guy. He just needs to kill some people, so that's what he's going to do. This one I definitely recommend. Then one of the best Punisher miniseries or graphic novels, so I want to pronounce it or take it, is Punisher Born. So this is from the Marvel Max line. This is absolutely one of the best Punisher stories ever. And if you want to read one Punisher story, this is it. So it's Garth Ennis, Derek Robertson, and Tom Palmer. So Frank Castle was in Vietnam, the war in Vietnam, and he did like 4 turns. And this story here really tells how he sort of became the Punisher. Everyone, I think, knows the story about how his family was killed, and that sort of triggered him. But here we get like the initial trigger, the prequel, sort of say, to it all. And this is an amazing, amazing story. Absolutely amazing story. It's violent, yeah, but it's really personal. It's a damn good story. And you can see throughout this one, it's brooding. This is pretty cool here because you see this skull here, how it, for each, it's 5 issues, and it changes for each issue. Skull changes, and I think I'd show that. I'm trying to, at least. Yep. Then we're going to go through something different. I'm just going to show some good stuff. Here we have Punisher by Greg Rucka. So this was a good run as well. Definitely recommend all of these. These are all just my pure recommendations if you want to get into Punisher. These are good ways to get into Punisher. It's nice artwork as well. That's a good one. Then another miniseries that we have 2 volumes of. That is Fury, My War Gone By. So this is about Nick Fury, but it has a lot to do with the Punisher, of course. Punisher and Nick Fury have been involved together for a long time. This is really good. This is underrated to me. This takes place during the Vietnam War again. It's basically Fury sitting back and remembering his old days in the Vietnam War and how he met up with Frank Castle and the adventures they're having, sort of say. Yeah, it's good stuff. One of the most classic runs of Punisher is Garth Ennis, and of course his Punisher Max run. Now it's available in an omnibus, but I have the complete collection of trades. This is the good stuff, you know. This really is the good stuff. Then to get in some more modern stuff, we have the Jason Aaron run. Once again, you have the great Steve Dillon doing the artwork here. Here you get some involved with Kingpin and Bullseye. Once again, the artwork may see, yeah, here we got some bloody good stuff. But it may seem a bit cartoonish, but with the Punisher, it actually fits. You figured you just have the dark and dirty and gritty stuff, but it really fits here. It really works. Yes, this is a run I highly recommend. And also this one. This is Punisher Year 1. by Abnett and Lanning, classic duo, team-up duo. Look at that artwork here. That is really, really cool. It's like a painting. How his family, his 2 kids and wife, gets completely by mistake caught in a gangster shooting. They're out in the park. Just, you know, having a picnic and having a good time, and they get caught up in this shooting. And it's brewing in Punisher, of course, you know. His family gets murdered by gangsters, and that's where the Punisher really triggers. So if you read this one along with Punisher Born, you're gonna get, you know, the beginning of the Punisher. Once again, that's great artwork. So it's not as much, you know, in this book and in Punisher Born, it's not as much him as Frank Castle as the Punisher. It is Frank Castle becoming the Punisher. It's Frank Castle as Frank Castle, but it's brewing, it's bubbling, and it's about to completely burst and blow up. And yeah, he becomes the Punisher. And I want to finish off, obviously, by some more Garth Ennis. His wonderful run here. This is the omnibus. And as with all of Marvel omnibuses, you have the covers on the back here. That's pretty cool. You can take away this dust jacket. There's really nothing here. You can go into the book itself. Yeah, this is the good stuff. I love this. As I say, I have most of what is available with Punisher. I have, you know, it's the essentials, which are so long out of print. Figured I might show those as well. I got the Epic collections and a lot of other trades. I just love the Punisher. He's my character. He has 2 parts on my body with tattoos as well. Yeah, that's good stuff. And I'm going to pause it. I'm going to show the essentials. Okay, there we go. Here we have the essentials, 4 volumes. So these were like cheap options if you want to get good Punisher stuff in black and white for a cheap price. Just have material in black and white here. Let's take the final volume. Here's volume 4. Let's see if we can see what issues. Here we have Punisher 41 through 59 and an annual 4 and 5. With creators like Mike Baron, Chuck Dixon, Bill Reinhold, Hugh Haynes, and more. You just have Punisher goodness. And when I started reading and collecting comics, I was not a fan of black and white stuff, but I really grown into it. And I really like black and white comics. I really, really do. So those are very cool. Then I also have, you know, the thicker trades. Thicker volumes they put up. We got here, we have Wolverine versus Punisher. We got Punisher versus the Marvel Universe. Punisher Suicide Run. Punisher and Shadow Hunters. I think this is called Shadow Masters. Shadow Masters is some kind of ninjas karate stuff, which is a good run. Punisher in the Nam, because there was a comic book called The Nam, which took place in the Nam, obviously, and obviously there's Punisher fits into it, and here's the collection that just has his appearances in that comic book. I like this type of artwork. You know, the 70s and 80s, that's my jam for comics. Moving on, we got more stuff here. And then the essentials that are out now. And I'm gonna pause it, and I'm gonna show the trades I have. I'll be back in a second. Okay, here's the trades I have of the Punisher. So here's just all the other stuff that I have of the Punisher, and I can't go through all of this, but you can sort of see here, and it goes all the way through. That's the last one. There we go. So it's kind of a good collection with the essentials, with the omnibuses, and I have some more odds and ends books as well, like Official Index, which is just an index book, just talks a bit synopsis and characters and everything. That you have the Punisher Noir. That's very cool as well. It should have been in black and white, the entire thing, because obviously noir. But yeah, giving you some good recommendations on the Punisher. What do you think? What do you like about the Punisher? Or do you like the character of the Punisher? What do you think about the TV show he had? And it's obviously coming a new season of that sometime, I think probably next year. It's going to be directed by J. Bernthal himself, and I'm very excited for that. What do you think about the recommendations I'm giving you for the Punisher? And I hope they're good recommendations, that you get some interest in the Punisher character. And let me know down in the comments what you think. I would really like to hear what you have to say. Let's start that conversation. And hey, give me a thumb up if you want to. And if you want more content like this, maybe possible subscribe. And until next time, everybody, I'll see you soon. Bye.